Busiest shipping lanes. Two of the goals one congressional delegation set out with as members landed in Taipei. One of those members, Congressman John Garamendi, who is back from Taiwan and with me now live. Good morning to you.
Good to be with you, Sandra.
We will talk through your trip in just a minute, but I have to get your reaction to the president today canceling $10,000 in student loans for borrowers who make less than $125,000 annually and putting another payment freeze in place for 4 months. This is not a universally lauded plan, but what about the folks who are in financial straits right now in other areas of life because of what they've already paid out for their student loans? There's no help for them.
Well, actually, there's a great deal of help for everybody. If you'll recall the American Rescue Plan, if you had children, you received $2,500 for each child. That went on for a full year. We extended it a little bit, but the Republicans refused to allow that extension, which actually cut poverty rates in America by almost 70%. So, child poverty rates. So there's a lot that has been done. Also, for those who want to go back to school, those who want to get an education in a skilled trade, in the Inflation Reduction Act, there's a very significant amount of money for job training. In the Infrastructure Jobs Act, there is a significant amount of money for apprenticeship programs and for skilled training. All of that free, and money for the community colleges to do all of this. So if you're looking to get a better education, it is out there. We've also increased the Pell Grants for the low-income people here in California and around the nation. Actually, that was one of my pieces of legislation to do that. So yes, for people that want to get an education going forward, there is a significant amount of money made available by Democrats. I must say none of the Republicans voted for this. So it's there. All you need to do is to get back to school. If you're a low income, apply for a Pell Grant. It's been increased.
But no rebate for folks who've already struggled to pay out. Also, there's this critique out there that this move amounts to a $300 billion bill for taxpayers. What's your response to that?
That's about 1/3 of the $1 trillion break that the Trump and the Republicans gave in the Trump tax cut 4 years ago. That was $1 trillion that went to the top 90% of Americans. And keep in mind that major corporations such as Amazon, Bezos, FedEx, they paid zero tax in 2020 and 2021. $5 billion of profit for Amazon, zero taxes. Now that's going to change. In the Inflation Reduction Act, we actually raised revenue, reduced the deficit by over $350 billion, and require that every corporation, every large corporation, not the small mom and pops, but the large corporation pay at least 15% tax on their profits. And we also we put a tax on stock buybacks. It's very Pfizer. In 2019, got $600 million reduction in taxes. They immediately stopped their Alzheimer's research and bought back stocks to the benefit of CEOs.
Okay, Congressman, let's move on to your trip. So China had already started some aggressive military action after Speaker Pelosi made her historic trip to Taiwan, the highest ranking U.S. official to visit there in 25 years. In light of those raised tensions, what was worth the risk to send a congressional delegation in right behind her?
There was no risk to us. We were not at risk at all. All of that activity by the Chinese military was offshore. We thought it, and we still believe it's extremely important to send a message to China that the United States continues to support Taiwan. The issue of Taiwan joining China is up to the Taiwanese people. The Taiwanese have created a very robust democracy, a very, very important economy. We're dependent upon Taiwan for very sophisticated integrated circuits, those chips. And keep in mind Hong Kong. 20 years ago, Hong Kong was moved from, actually 30 years ago, from British rule to China. And China said there'll be one country, two systems. Well, that lasted until Beijing decided there'd be one system. They marched the troops and the police into Hong Kong, crushed the democracy there, eliminated all civil liberties, and Hong Kong people were subjugated to Beijing. The Taiwanese want no part of that. They enjoy their democracy, they enjoy their civil liberties, and they're ready to protect themselves. They admit that they are part of China. That's never changed. That's been the way it is. But they're not about to be subjugated by Beijing.
China accuses the U.S. of encouraging independent forces within Taiwan through its sale of military equipment to the island and engaging with its officials. But the U.S. doesn't exactly support Taiwan's independence, right, from China?
That is correct. The American policy is it's a one China policy. Taiwan is part of China, but it is a separate a part of China. And the Taiwanese people do not want to be subjugated, to be treated like Hong Kong has been treated. And so they are prepared to defend their current status, which is part of China. However, they're not about to be dominated by China.
And the U.S. is going to send its officials and make whatever visits it wants to. We know you've had that conversation with us before, and not be dictated to by another country's leaders. Thank you so much for all your insight on student loans and on your trip to Taiwan this morning.
Oh, one more thing on the student loan, if you got a minute. We've been offering legislation to reduce the interest rate. The federal government can borrow a little over 2%, but yet they charge the students somewhere 6, 7, and 8%. That is outrageous. We ought to go back to what the government can borrow money for and refinance the student debt. So we're going to continue to push that in the days ahead.
All righty. A lot of people will be looking forward to that. Thank you so much.
Exactly.